What was supposed to be a fun shopping trip turned into an absolute nightmare. Marcus Dobre and his girlfriend, Michelle Koptman, were enjoying a casual day at the mall, laughing, shopping, and vlogging for their fans until everything took a terrifying turn. Out of nowhere, security stopped them, accusing Michelle of stealing. Confusion, fear, and panic set in as she struggled to prove her innocence. Was it all a misunderstanding, or was there more to the story? What really happened inside that security room? This is the emotional roller coaster that no one saw coming. A day that started off perfectly. Marcus and Michelle had no idea their day was about to spiral into chaos. They were out at the mall, just like any other couple, having fun, checking out new outfits, and joking around while filming for their fans. Michelle picked up a few accessories, trying them on in the mirror, while Marcus playfully teased her about how long she was taking to decide. It was one of those lighthearted moments that seemed completely normal, until it wasn't. Michelle was holding a small bracelet in her hand, admiring its design, when Marcus called her over to check out another item across the store. In that split second, distracted and absent-minded, she placed the bracelet in her shopping bag, fully intending to take another look at it before deciding whether to buy it. But before she knew it, Marcus had pulled her toward another section of the store, and the moment was lost. The two continued shopping, unaware that the clock was ticking on an unfortunate mistake. The moment everything changed. As they left the store, walking hand in hand, laughing about something completely unrelated, everything seemed fine, until the sound of hurried footsteps behind them made them stop. "Excuse me, miss, we need to talk." Michelle turned around, heart pounding. Two mall security officers stood there, their expressions serious. "Is there a problem?" Marcus asked, his voice calm but with a hint of worry. "We need you to come with us," one of the officers said, looking directly at Michelle. "You left the store with an item that wasn't paid for." Michelle's face went pale. "What?" she stammered, completely confused. The officers gestured toward her bag. "Please open it." Her hands trembled as she slowly unzipped it. And there, sitting at the top, was the bracelet. A wave of cold dread washed over her. She had completely forgotten about it. Marcus' expression shifted from confusion to shock. "Wait. Michelle, what happened?" I didn't mean to take it," she whispered, her voice shaking. "I was just holding it, and then—" "Ma'am, we need to take you to the back," the officer interrupted. "This is considered theft." Tears welled up in Michelle's eyes. She turned to Marcus, panic setting in. "I swear, I didn't mean to steal it." "It was an accident," she said desperately. Marcus could see the fear in her eyes, and his heart broke. He knew Michelle, there was no way she would ever do something like this on purpose. But security wasn't taking any chances. People in the mall had started to stare, whispering among themselves. Michelle felt like the ground was crumbling beneath her feet. "Please, you have to believe me," she pleaded. But the officers remained firm. Marcus clenched his fists, frustrated. "There has to be a way to clear this up. Let's just talk." With no other option, they followed the officers to the security office. Inside the security room, a nightmare unfolds. The small security room felt suffocating. Michelle sat in a chair, her hands shaking as she struggled to explain herself. "I didn't realize I put it in my bag. I got distracted and forgot," she said, her voice cracking. The officers didn't seem convinced. "We hear that excuse a lot," one of them said, folding his arms. Marcus was getting frustrated now. "Look, we've been filming all day. If you check the footage, you'll see she never meant to steal anything." Michelle buried her face in her hands, overwhelmed by guilt and fear. "Please, I'll pay for it. I never intended to take it." The officers exchanged glances. After what felt like an eternity, one of them sighed and pulled up the security footage. They all watched in silence as the moment played out, Michelle holding the bracelet, Marcus calling her over, and her absent-mindedly placing it in her bag without realizing it. It was clear she had no bad intentions. The officers looked at each other, then back at Michelle. "We can see this wasn't on purpose," one of them admitted. But this could have gone differently if you didn't cooperate. Be more careful next time. Michelle let out a breath she didn't realize she was holding. So, does this mean she's not in trouble? Marcus asked, his voice still tense. The officer nodded. As long as she pays for it, we'll let it slide. Relief flooded through Michelle. She immediately reached for her wallet, eager to put this nightmare behind her. As they walked out of the security room, Marcus put an arm around her, his voice soft. It's okay, now. You're okay. Michelle wiped away a tear, still shaken. I feel so stupid. I can't believe that happened. Marcus gave her a reassuring smile. Hey, it was an accident. But you handled it. That's what matters. A lesson they'll never forget. As they left the mall, the weight of the experience still lingered. What started as a fun day had turned into a terrifying ordeal that neither of them would forget anytime soon. Later that night, as they filmed their video outro, Michelle reflected on the situation. This was honestly one of the scariest moments of my life, she admitted. I never thought something like this could happen to me. But I learned a really important lesson: always be aware of what you're doing, because one small mistake can turn into something huge. Marcus nodded. Yeah. And always stay calm. I was scared, too, but freaking out wouldn't have helped. I'm just glad it all worked out. Michelle looked into the camera, her voice steady but emotional. I just want to say to anyone watching, please be careful. This could happen to anyone. And if you ever find yourself in a situation like this, just be honest and stay calm. As the video wrapped up, the comments flooded in, fans expressing their shock, their support, and their relief that everything turned out okay. For Marcus and Michelle, this was more than just another YouTube video. It was a real-life lesson in awareness, honesty, and the power of staying composed under pressure. And one thing was for sure: they would never forget this day.